I agree, because up until now, my experience has been the same, he says. I'm autistic myself, and I'm also ADHD. And third of all, my hearing is a real issue. It's a challenge for me. So that's a lot of things stacked together that all overwhelm and mix together. In the past, it's been a real problem. I don't know if my experience was really pure overwhelm or if it was connected with autism or ADHD or because of the auditory issues. I'm really not sure. But right now, I'm overworked with medical, spell that again? Doctors. Oh, Dr. Ray. Yeah, he's been working with Dr. Ray. And right now, it's easy for me to notice what overwhelm with what really might have happened to me in the past. Did I voice that okay? Yeah. I'm not a certified interpreter anymore. That like and I think that's something that we're seeing a lot of. We're seeing kids that have a diagnosis of dyslexia and then they test out of it after a year with the hearing aids, or they have a diagnosis of autism and then they're turned down for services because their behaviors aren't bad enough. And then we look at like ABA, for example, um, trying to control these behaviors when maybe what they should be doing instead is looking for the cause. That it just.
And Shay is saying if you're up for interpreting to voice, I would love to say something about the same
Sure, hold on.
comparisons.
Let me add a pin so I can see you. Marcia says behaviors are communication. From my experience, I never had hearing aids before. I tried one time, but they really didn't help me. I'm deaf at this point. My hearing is just gone. Profound hearing loss. It started when I was just after high school. And I'm also ADHD with dyslexia. So all of these things together compound each other, and they started in high school. So from my experience, I thought hearing aids were only going to make things louder and they were going to make noise. And I just didn't want to have any more noise to be overwhelmed by. I also have some misophonia, so I really don't like hearing certain sounds. And I could hear sound anyway without. So Nye, who's a friend of mine, told me about Dr. Ray. And I said, and she said, they said, why don't you see what happens? Hold on to your doubt. So we talked to each other, and Dr. Ray, they did the testing, and I have to say my jaw just dropped. Because I'd always thought that, I don't understand, that, oh yeah, the pain in my ears just stopped. All of the high frequency sounds that hurt me so much in my ears, they decreased because of the programming, and it smoothed everything out. And I noticed with the hearing aids, if I don't use the hearing aids now, that I'm in so much more pain. There's so much difference between the two. My mood changes. I don't have as much patience with people when I don't have the hearing aids on. Wait, again. The high frequency sounds, having them stop, that's that sound. It's just loud. It's so painful. And now it's eased. Now it's better. Like an alarm clock. My tinnitus sounds like an alarm clock before. It was all the time ringing in my ear, ringing, ringing, ringing. And with that ringing blocked, it helps me so much. Really, so much. I just want to let you know that. I know that your profession, that you professionally don't tend to focus on the profoundly deaf people, but it helped and it made so much of a difference for me. I did focus before on profoundly deaf, but because I work in virtual 100%, I can't do molds because I can't meet up with the person and take molds. And because of that, the only way I could do it is if another audiologist supported me. And most people, if they're going to support something, they want to do it themselves. But if somebody profound wants to come to me and can get your molds, I am happy to help. Michelle disappeared. Well, I think
I'm still here.
yeah, I think that we're running out of time. But people can come back tomorrow. I had 2 more times that I set up because I knew there were so many international people coming. Maybe Friday morning at 7 in the morning because I'm crazy. But tomorrow night, I think that Shay and Nye are probably going to break roles and talk a little bit more about Nye's experience.
I'll be back tomorrow as well.
Awesome. Because it's about sensitivity and spatial understanding in noise, echolocation. Anything else you wanted to say, Michelle?
Yeah, I mean, just from a parent perspective, the validation of that not feeling crazy when you're told a million times, like the 999th time you're told no, but you just still keep pushing because I'm sure you guys see the parents are just feel like, okay, I know something is wrong. I know my kid, but then like seeing them be themselves, there's also that level of like, you know, you don't want to say you fear your kid, but some I know parents who have kids who are ADHD or have autism, they have these behaviors and they're on a spectrum, they have something going on, and parents don't know how to deal with it. And there's not, they're like you're saying, finding that root cause of why is there a behavior?
Maybe the parent, I mean, I'll tell you as a parent of a kid who's probably PDA autistic and ADHD, I don't feel safe. Sometimes I can't predict what he's going to do. And I never know what's going to happen. Like the other day, the stairs, he just jumped down and like he almost broke his leg. I mean, I was like, what are you doing? Why did you do that? Just because you wanted to control what happened doesn't mean you need to hurt yourself, you know, or I'm hoping that some of the behavior dies down.
Yeah, Logan being smaller.
I should have done it earlier. I should have fit him years ago, but they say that the cobbler's kids go without shoes. I see all of the other people, and I use aids. But because of what happened, I was so traumatized by that school's response. And my husband not wanting him to look weak, you know, that I just didn't feel like I had the right to push it because I didn't have another professional supporting me. But now I got Marsha. But you know, I have to say, I mean, your kid is so bright. He's so bright. There is no reason why you need to judge him only on the fact that he can read at grade level or a little above. That does not mean that's the limit of his ability. And the school looking at him and saying, oh, he can read, he can read. He's behaving okay, so we're just going to let him drown. Maybe they don't think he's drowning, but he can see that he's drowning because he's so bright. He should be way above the water, not below it.
Very much so. I agree. And also too, when you're talking about the like fear or like afraid of your child, like we started getting, I'm thinking like if he's getting bigger, he's already sometimes where I'm like, he knows what could hurt me. And I'm like, I don't want it. I don't want that relationship. I don't want to have to be in that situation, or to turn into something that it actually isn't
Mhm.
because they're learned, and this is the only way he could communicate it. But now he's able to tell us so much more because,
I mean,
or
yeah,
in actually in less
control.
ways, he's able to tell us more because he doesn't have to cover so much or work so hard. He's able to like relax
He doesn't need
and
to. He doesn't need to like act in desperation. There are a couple things in the chat. Marsha said behaviors are often communication. Whoever MW is says yes, and as a kid, they don't know how to communicate what they are experiencing, and safe space is reverting back to what they know that gets attention or response. And then,
that was me,
okay,
Michelle.
okay. Then Priscilla said, thank you all. It's been very helpful as I gather information about APD. Somebody named F says, do you have a written protocol for fitting low gain hearing aids for APD? And the answer to that is I do, but it's just a mind map because I'm ADHD autistic and that's how I think. It's basically fit within these parameters and then figure it out from there. Because the truth is, we're just sailors in unknown seas, all of us, figuring it out as we go along. But stay within the safety parameters and you should be okay. I don't know if it's on my website, but I have it in my phone. I'm willing to share it. It's in our group, but I don't think it's as clear as it is in my phone. Oh, you found it there? Okay. Marcia.
Yeah, that like flow sheet that comes from the two sides, like, and yeah, I think I found it because you sent it to me the other day and I was like, I've seen this before. I think it's on your website somewhere.
Yeah, it might
Yeah,
be.
it's kind of nice. It starts at the center and it's like this and then this and yeah, so it's a
Yeah.
nice little guide.
It's a mind map. I love mind maps. So hopefully people will come back tomorrow. I know everybody's really pretty busy, but I'll be here, Nye will be here, Dr. Shea will be here, Marsha will be here. And if you didn't get your questions answered today, maybe tomorrow or come on Friday and see what international people show up. We might get people from anywhere. And maybe we can make a difference around the world, not just here.
Thank you everyone for coming. Thank you, Ray, for hosting this. I'm
Yeah,
gonna top off
a
and
lot of
find my
fun.
family. Be back tomorrow.
Bye.